It's a positive seed. Manifestation is based on what you believe. Outcome depends on how the situation perceived. And ain't no limit to what the power of the mind can achieve. Keep it going, never stopping, never slowing up.
What's up, guys? This is Devan here with Nick, and welcome to another Tribe 11 podcast. Today we want to kind of go over a little bit of the holiday tips and tricks to stay on track with your nutrition, because it is a big factor when it comes to the holidays that everyone kind of falls off track. Hope you guys enjoy the episode. Let's go.
I know everybody does face these obstacles when it comes to this time of year. Thanksgiving, Christmas, you name it. We tend to stay on track, do fairly well on our routine, on our diet, on our specific nutrition plan. And, we go to a family gathering, and before you know it, we're having a plate, and then another plate, and then another plate, and then dessert. And then it kind of spirals down into, just completely just telling yourself, you know what, it's already here. Let me just go with it and finish the year off eating whatever I want. That shouldn't be the case. Avoidable in a sense of being prepared, trying to eat clean for the start of your day, majority of the day, and then knowing that allowing yourself for dinner maybe, when you are with your family, to have a plate of whatever your family is having for that specific dinner.
There's kind of like a running joke that, the holiday calories don't count, but they do. So it's not that you can't enjoy the holiday foods and the sweets and the different dishes that maybe be super carb loaded and fat based, but it's moderation. When we're saying you can have a plate, you can have a plate, but the plate doesn't need to be stacked where it's like a 3-pound plate. You can have a little bit of each thing, enjoy it, but make sure you get your workout in for that day. Make sure the rest of your day is pretty clean. Like, don't eat snacks that day and eat out for lunch knowing you're about to go out and eat with your family for dinner. When you want dessert, make sure you have like a reasonable piece of dessert, because at the end of the day you still have goals, you still have a job to do. And if you go into Thanksgiving, especially at least for me, like I have to go to my side of the family, and then I have to go to my wife's side of the family. That's 2 full-on dinners right there. Right. So it's not that we're gonna go and load up at both places. We'll have a little bit of each thing at one, and then we go to the next place, we have another little bit of each thing, but it's within reason. Like, you shouldn't feel like you have to unbuckle your pants after you're done once you take a seat.
That's right. A couple other different tips that may help or to keep in mind actually, is alcohol. I know it seems kind of, an odd factor, but when we do drink alcohol, it kind of throws you off mentally in a way that, okay, you're feeling some type of way, and then, okay, you get hungry, and then you start eating more too than what you realize you're actually supposed to be eating.
But what's crazy is what people don't realize about alcohol, and I know you and I both have clients that have asked this, does alcohol really make a difference? Well, what if I input the alcohol into my calories? It's like, yeah, it counts as calories, and people will say it's empty calories and everything. It's like, no, ethanol is 7 calories per gram. Mm-hmm. Like, there's still calories there. Your body still has to metabolize that. And the way I tell people to look at it and to look at your metabolism is almost like a line at an amusement park, right? When you eat, right? So everything you eat first gets in line. Then let's say you have a snack, then it gets in line. Then you have another snack, it gets in line. All of a sudden, your line looks like a ride at Disneyland. And all of a sudden you throw something that's quote unquote empty calories, that still gets in line. Mm-hmm. Now, if you have something that needed to be metabolized, like protein, all that kind of stuff, or let's say carbs that you could have used, like, it still gets to wait. And if it takes too long for it to happen, it starts to store as fat for energy for later use. Yep. But going more into like the science realm of like alcohol, because it's bigger than just empty calories. When you drink alcohol, and this is something I took from Dr. Layne Norton, who has a PhD in protein synthesis, is when you drink alcohol, it actually slows down and puts a hold on your protein synthesis. So your body actually can't break down proteins for a given, it's not a huge time frame, it's a couple hours, but your body's not processing that. So the things that you need to rebuild, repair your muscles and your body aren't being activated because you're drinking. So when you drink, let's say, alcohol with dinner, and you're having a huge plate of turkey, which is all protein and is healthy, well, now that's not going to be broken down and metabolized as well because of your drink.
Right.
So it's not to say you shouldn't drink, because
Right.
at the end of the day, you're a grown adult. If you want to drink, drink. But just know that, again, maybe do it in moderation. It's a family holiday. Like, there's no reason to get like hammered. Like, have a drink, enjoy it. But are your goals and your results bigger than that drink of alcohol? Are they bigger than that sixth drink of alcohol? Like, put your cup down, enjoy the night, and then tomorrow morning wake up, hit that gym.
That's right. And that's a major key about getting your exercising, no matter what the holiday is, which actually should be
More motivation to like go hit the gym.
Exactly. And the fact that it's a
a
holiday is like, I'm sure majority of the people do have it off. You know what I mean? So it's not like you have plenty of time before your family gathering or wherever you're going to get a workout in.
Yeah, just plan out your day. Like, if you're gonna go, if you have family events, or let's say you have things to do to get ready for your, dinner or lunch or whatever, like, plan out your morning so that you can fit a workout in. And if you can't make the gym's not open, whatever gym you go to, then go on a run, go on a walk, like, do something, do a little home workout, something is better than nothing. You need to burn some calories and stay on track, because you're about to put in excess amount of calories, which is gonna put you a step behind, but let it at least put you one step back instead of 6 steps back.
Yep. Another thing to remember is water. Like, your water definitely will help you throughout the day. On top of you avoiding overeating when it does come to that dinner celebration, is making sure that you are drinking a lot of water to keep your, pretty much like from, stuffing yourself with just pure food. Like, water will definitely help you fill up a little bit.
Also, it's the same mental trigger in your brain. Whether you're hungry or thirsty, your brain doesn't know the difference. So if you're drinking, let's say, a half gallon to a gallon of water a day, like you should be anyways, then your body or your brain won't tell your body that you're hungry, because it thinks it's already full. So it's obviously, once you see all the foods and stuff like that, like, you're going to want to eat, but it won't allow you to eat as much, filling yourself up with your normal intake of water. Like, it's not saying drink excess, like, that's what you should be drinking anyways. But since you're going to be busy doing stuff to get ready for the party or get ready for your event, just make sure you are not putting your water to the side, and make sure you are still getting that water in, because it will definitely help. As well as, that's what transports your toxins and stuff out of your body. So all those excess things in your system that need to get out.
And when we say like moderation in regards to, your desserts, like anything that your family may be having or serving for that holiday dinner, when you are making your plate too, be considerate of what you are grabbing. I mean, obviously different cultures and all that stuff, like, you'll have different foods.
Speaking of cultures, real quick, does your dad make lumpia for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Dude, save me a plate. I'll eat it in moderation, but
bro makes lumpia for everything. I got you. I'll tell him. Oh dang, he hasn't made it in a minute.
I've been lumpia free for like a year.
All right, I got you. But with that, what I was saying was just be mindful about.
If you don't know what lumpia is, you're missing out.
Oh, that's right. That's if we were to talk about.
Look it up.
That's his favorite. That's Devan's favorite, lumpia. That's crazy. That made me think about like how long it's been. I think the last time you made it was for your birthday. Or no, it was some kind of occasion.
Yeah, bro, it was my birthday a year ago.
Damn. I got you. Being mindful of what you're putting on your plate. Meaning, whatever the culture may be, whatever dishes you guys might be having, fill your plate up with some color and some protein. You guys know, like, Thanksgiving, there's turkey. Christmas, there's ham. I'm sure there's vegetable, green beans, spinach, and all that stuff. those are things that may be cooked differently, but you guys still do eat them on a regular basis. At least you should be here and there on on your regular meal plan or whatever you are following. So just be mindful of that, and when you are making your plate, put more of those whole foods that you know are going to help you fill up, 1, 2, meet your appropriate macros, and 3, that'll actually help you, from filling yourself up and not overeating on so much of the negative stuff. I don't want to say negative, but like the desserts and
tasty stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I mean, greens. Like you're talking about greens, you're talking about spinach and stuff like that. Like it's whole greens that are like natural form that you'd eat on an everyday basis. Like not a green bean casserole. Don't load up a plate on that. Like
yeah.
So just be careful. But no, that is good. Like, it's one of those things where yes, put protein on your plate. To a reasonable amount. Like you don't have to stuff yourself with protein, because that is not always the best dish there. But if it's all carb based dishes, depending on your culture, then just realize that okay, take a little bit of each. Like your plate is, if your plate is 90% carbs, like you're not about to expend that much energy throughout the rest of the day. Like that's gonna store as fat. It's just inevitable. But if you moderate that half plate or 90% of a plate of carbs down to, a third, now you're basically taking 3 steps that you'd have to work that next day out. So just realize that moderation is key, because how bad do you really want to get to your goals? Is your goals in your body, or is your weight, whatever your goal is that really worth this 20 minutes or 30 minutes of you eating the satisfaction? Like there's gonna be more Thanksgivings, there's gonna be more Christmases. But right now, this year, this month, it's time for you to get to your goal. So do you think you can sacrifice one holiday, or not even one holiday, one day of eating, certain kinds of food when you really want to get to your goal? Or if you don't really want to get to your goal, then enjoy your plate, but then don't come crying the next day when you're like, oh man, like I gained 4 pounds. Like, well, shut up.
I mean, that's pretty straightforward as it is. It's as simple as how bad, or no,
What are you willing to sacrifice?
exactly, like how well are you going to discipline yourself, and start applying that discipline to just have enough of the certain desserts or whatever the quote unquote bad things that may be at your holiday dinner. Doesn't mean you can't have any. You can have a little bit, but just be mindful of it. And if you know yourself enough to where, and I know this because actually, like, I've, like, especially like being, such in a calorie deficit for so long, like it actually did give me a little bit of an eating disorder for a little while, that I found that it was more mental, that I was already full, but because I was so afraid of not being able to have something, or it was around me, like certain foods or anything, I would just keep eating. And that tends to happen actually at holidays, and I see it from my own family, that we'll just be sitting around the table, everybody already finished eating, but some people are just still kind of like eating the desserts and stuff, and in my own head I'm like, why? And
That's
it's like
lumpia, but it's because it's my crack.
no, it's not so much of the lumpia. That's the first to go all the time.
I know,
But
I'm there.
it's fire. But it's like they're picking on desserts, and I thought to myself, it's my family, so I call them out, like, why are you still eating? And it's honestly, they're just like, oh, it's because we're laughing, having a good time, and it's because the food is right there. So if you know yourself well enough to that, dang, if I am around this, like, I am going to reach for it, especially if we're having a good time. It's like, just position yourself a little wiser too, meaning like, all right, if you want to make a suggestion, all right guys, we're done eating dinner, let's kind of put the food aside, and like we'll gather around around the table doing something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely you can do that, or just don't grab more food. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, just don't pick up another plate. Like, if you don't have the self-control to not grab more food, I mean, let's say you're doing it subconsciously and you're not even thinking about it, you're doing it, you realize it, then it's now you have a decision to make. Do I continue to do this for the rest of the night, or do I know that I'm full and I know that I have goals to hit, so I'm just gonna stop doing it? Like, you know, you could have everyone pick up, but you're not responsible for everyone there. But you are responsible for yourself. You are responsible for your actions. You are responsible for your results. And if you can't take the discipline and take action on your own actions, essentially, then it's like, okay, you don't have the discipline, you're not gonna get there. But if you really think about it, like, people get worried about the holidays. People get worried about Thanksgiving, Christmas, then New Year's. Like, if you look at every month, there's almost a holiday or something to celebrate, whether it's someone's birthday, whether it's a work event, whether it's, you know, your anniversary. Like, there's always something going to be going on in life that you'll be able to give yourself an excuse to binge out and fall off track. So now that we're approaching Thanksgiving, it's just a bigger topic that everyone starts to bring up and think about, when in reality, this is just your daily life. This month is no different than anything else. Like, last month we had Halloween. The month before that, September, there was maybe a birthday. You know, there was something else. Like, kids went back to school. Right. Before that was, you know, August, and kids are still on summer break. So now you're out with your kids, or you're off of work, or, you know, you're partying in Vegas. Like, there's always something. You can break it down every single month, but there's always going to be something. So it's like, have the self-discipline within yourself to know that you got to get to your goal and you need to stick to your plan. If you want to enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. If you want to have a cheat meal, have a cheat meal, but get back on track. Like, if you know your cheat meal is going to be at the end of the day, if you're already pre-planning it, eat super healthy the beginning of the day. Don't have any snacks, and then enjoy yourself. The next day, get back on track. If you have if you're going out for brunch, enjoy your brunch, but the rest of the day better be clean as hell.
Yeah, with that, I feel like people overthink it, also, which kind of shoots them in their own foot. Meaning, like, you're so afraid of what's to come, at least for your goal-wise, your nutrition-wise, when it comes to the holidays, that you're psyching yourself out. It's obviously it's a holiday and you're gonna see family, you're gonna gather, but it's just another day. You know, there's foods. You come across quote unquote bad, there is no bad food, essentially, you know what I mean? But you come across those things everywhere you go, every single day. But because your family is not gathered around that table, you don't really necessarily think of that moment like, oh damn, like I can't, it's hard to, like, for me to avoid this. It's your perspective. You are psyching yourself out. You know what I mean? Just plan ahead with that, and moderation. But your goals, your effort, your discipline, because it's a family gathering, which I'm sure everybody faces this quote. Oh, that's it? You're not gonna have some of this? You're not gonna eat more? Especially from your,
you're not going to try the pasta I made. You're not going to try the dish I made.
That is what you call peer pressure.
One, I don't even like that dish. Two, or even if I do, it's like, I'm full. Like, you know, I'll take some for tomorrow or whatever. Like, you don't need to eat it right then and there. Take a plate for the next day.
Right. Guys, your family loves you. Your grandma, your grandpa, your aunt, your uncle, they haven't seen you in a long time. They do love you. They want you to be stuffed. They want you to eat all the great food, which is okay. Have it in moderation. But where you're trying to get and your goals does not really pertain to them. That's why they're making suggestions, but those suggestions don't necessarily fall in line to what your guys' goals are. You know what I mean?
Your battles are your battles. Mm-hmm. Your obstacles are your obstacles. Your struggles are your struggles. It's not theirs. They want you to enjoy the time with them. Enjoy the time with them, but you don't need to enjoy the time with them while eating when you've already eaten.
Overeating, binging, yeah. You know, and like, if you don't want to hurt one of your relatives' feelings because you didn't try a certain, like, dessert, I should say, you can try the dessert. Again, know yourself, just try it and be like, oh, it was great, but smallest slice.
I guarantee they're not going to be that hurt the next day in 20 minutes. Like, they might be like, oh, really? And then literally 2 minutes passes, they're not going to even remember it, because the conversation goes on, someone else is trying their dish, they're talking to them. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But you got this. Nick believes in you. I believe in you. And we'll talk soon.